news. Now, our next guest's photo went viral on social media after his friend Lewis Bagshaw was fatally stabbed to death in Sheffield. Jordan Kissack posted this picture of Mr. Bagshaw's toddler son, Carter, putting soil on his coffin when he was buried back in September. It was in an attempt to stop violent crime and make people who are carrying knives think twice. Jordan has since set up a boxing academy in memory of his friend. Jordan joins me now alongside amateur boxer Harrison Hobson, who says boxing has completely turned his life around at this academy founded by Jordan. Welcome to you both. Really good to have you here in the studio. Jordan, I want to start first by talking about that photograph because I remember it. It was in the newspapers and so many people looked at this toddler helping to bury his dad. And you really wanted people to remember that and the impact of knife crime on young families.
Well, I mean, when I posted the picture, it was only vaguely, well, from what I thought, it just covered the Sheffield area from the people that I know, but it actually spread out as far as America, from what I've gathered, from what I've looked at. So obviously it just shows you the impact that the picture actually has.
Is Lewis only in his early 20s?
It was, yeah. I mean, Lewis was, you know, there's a lot of people that are involved in knife crime and gun crime, and I do have to say Lewis was a very good family man. He wasn't involved in any criminal activity. He was a loving family man to his son, really good partner to Olivia, and that's all I've really got to say about him.
Well, that photo really struck a chord with people, and that's what you wanted to do. You wanted people who were carrying knives and guns to think twice about what they were doing, because that's the impact of it. A toddler having to bury his dad, which, you know, nobody should have to do, never mind somebody that young. It's so awful. But it drove you to set up the Hood gym in the local area.
The Hood is, I'm a boxer there, same as him. It's Regan Denton. Regan Denton has started the Hood, but what we're doing, me and Regan, we're setting up a campaign which is called Jab, Don't Stab. So we're working together to get like kids like him and me and all the younger generation to obviously take a step back and think about what we're doing with their life.
So you're using this gym to get young people in, like you, Harrison, to stop them from being out on the streets and getting sucked into this. How's the scheme helped you?
Because I feel like every kid deserves to have the right role model. So for us, Regan Denton was our role model. He took us in as one of his own. And he was, because a lot of kids don't have mums and dads like around Manor. It's a rough estate.
So Manor is where the gym is.
Yeah, exactly, So you need to find that right role model to put you in the right frame of mind, and that's what it did with us too. So it took us off the streets and put us back into a good frame of mind.
Into doing a positive thing with life.
Jordan, it's interesting, isn't it? Because knife crime, so many of the stories come out of London, but it's a problem up and down the country. What's happening in Sheffield with knives and guns at the moment?
Well, it's every day. Every day. I mean, like we said, with London, it's so big, but in Sheffield, it's so small.
So cramped.
So there's so many different gangs that is based in Sheffield. So there's always issues, like wherever you go, there's always issues. You can go into a wrong area and just be seen from a different area and then there's an issue. Which it shouldn't be like that.
And obviously the younger generation is the future generation. So if someone doesn't put a stop to it now, then it's only going to get worse.
It's only going to get worse.
And I would know because I'm 16, and if I can change it around, then so can other people.
What sort of path were you going down, Harrison, before you found boxing?
Well, I was never in school. I was only in school in year 11, and that was the last year. So as you can see, like, I hated school. I never wanted to go to school, and I missed school for all them years. So imagine not learning anything for like 11 years. Literally, I wasn't in primary or anything, and I just grew up fighting really, and that's all I've got. Without boxing, I don't really know what I'd have to offer.
Jordan, what kind of kids do you get coming to the boxing academy looking for something to do?
Well, there's loads of different. I mean, there's younger kids. There's kids as young as 7, 6 that come just bad mouthing their parents back. There's kids that are just bad at school. There's kids from college. Then we've got adults. There's adults there. We have doctors come, ex-criminals that have changed their life around. So there's loads of different people, all under all under one roof, that are all together for one mission.
That's interesting, Harrison, because it's not just about getting kids out of trouble or getting them off the street so they don't get into trouble. It sounds like you're creating a community, and these kids are meeting people that they wouldn't ordinarily meet.
Yeah, but you know, there's people in there like myself. I mean, I've been locked up numerous times. 2016, I got arrested for firearms and drugs and Section 18, which is wounded with intent. So I've been in the deep of it. You know, luckily, I didn't get into trouble for it. So no, you know, now is my message to say to the kids, look, I've been there, and I've been on the end of it, where I'm looking at going to prison for a long time, and it's not the life that you want. It's not at all. There is other ways to life. So it's sometimes it's trying to turn a negative into a complete positive.
Jordan, I wonder what you make of what a lot of politicians have been saying since the London Bridge attack on Friday, in terms of longer sentences for criminals. And the counter-argument to that is rehabilitation, education in prison, you know, to try and help people while they're inside. That's more productive than longer sentencing.
Yeah.
Presumably that's something that you would back.
Yeah, well, you see, like, it's basically that's going in favour of what we're doing as well. Yeah. We're not trying to drag anything out. We're trying to educate and make people realise, you know, that there's a different way of life. So yeah, I do think that the education way and opening people's eyes is the best way forward.
And Harrison, you know, you're a successful product of this scheme, this boxing gym, this academy.
Gold medalist.
Yeah, I mean,
just to say.
Yeah, you've done really well. It's okay, you can blow your own trumpet on the show. That's fine. We like people to celebrate their achievements.
Yeah, I've done all right.
Yeah, but in terms of, you must see, you know, kids coming in that were like you when you first started.
Definitely.
And the effect that boxing has on them spills over into other aspects of their lives, like their home lives, how they
100%.
act at school, how they interact with other people.
Well, I feel like the most talent is in the graveyards. That's where the most talent is, because everyone who grows up that has a passion to do something always ends up going on the right path, and it leads to death. So the most talent is therefore in the graveyards. We've got talent, but we haven't got as much talent as those who are in the graveyard.
Yeah.
Jordan, what about funding? Because every time we talk to community leaders about what needs to be done to help kids who are going down the wrong path, they say we need investment in community centres, we need places for them to go, but the funding isn't there. How is your gym, how is your scheme funded?
Well, what's happened? I mean, you're probably best at talking about that. I mean, what I will say is the gym where it is at the minute, it's at an old school. Regan Denton, our trainer, managed to get hold of it. They actually tried to knock it down because they're building a retail park on it.
I'm just looking at all those brilliant faces behind you, all those young kids, sweaty faces,
like I say, it's a big family.
All sorts of ages.
Do you know some of them young kids though? They're gonna go far, and you know it does actually just show you, bring your kids in at that age, and they don't have to go down that path I've been down. He's been down. Bring him into a gym, and it teaches you respect. You know, maybe not so much boxing, a sport, a hobby, football, basketball.
I think you might be rubbish at boxing, but it's all the other things it teaches you.
It's anything it just teaches. It's a way of life. Boxing is a way of life. It's not a sport. It's a way of life. It teaches you respect. It teaches you discipline. It is. It's like being in the army, isn't it? At you anyway.
Oh, blimey, put me off. Harrison, in terms of, you know, it being a lifeline to kids and young adults, I mean, is that overstating it, or is it a lifeline?
It is definitely a lifeline, because I've seen so many kids that have just fallen off the rails, that have got so much talent, and it's just not one of them things that you grow up wanting to see. It's like, we're just two kids from a council estate. Who'd ever knew that we'd be on here talking right now? And it's like, we've come so far because it's only yourself that chooses to come out of that frame of mind.
And you're doing this off your own backs. You're doing it from your experiences, and because you want to change the lives of others as well as your own. What would you say to politicians? Because obviously, again, it comes down to funding. There could be so many schemes in boxing gyms like yours up and down the country, but there isn't the money there. What would you say to politicians?
Well, like I said, at the moment, we are getting a gym rebuilt. Now the gym is struggling. It needs, what is it, 2.5 million for the finished product. You know, we have got South Yorkshire Police helping us as well, which is our, obviously, police. They donated some money because of how well we're doing. So, you know, we can be the first ever product around the country to show the positive effects that it actually has, because it's not just a boxing gym.
Yeah, exactly.
We've got a cafe in there, we've got a drug rehabilitation in the gym. We've got a charity shop in there, haven't we? We've got a chill out area for the kids, a chill out area for just the old people that have got nowhere to go. We've got places where they can just come and you know, speak.
It's not about making money.
Yeah, it's not about making money. It's
just about making the world a better place, and that's what some people
that's what our gym's there for.
Well, that is a brilliant note to end it on. Harrison Hobson and Jordan Kissack, thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
in and telling us your story, and a wonderful tribute, an amazing tribute to your friend Lewis as well. Thank you for coming in to tell us your story here on Sky News. Really appreciate your time. It's been brilliant. Thank you. Two very impressive young men there. You're watching the Sarah Jane Me Show here on Sky News. Coming up, we're going to bring you